gents, Jaeger here. Today we are reviewing the RGB gaming keyboard from Corsair, the Corsair Strafe. As one of the latest releases from their keyboard lineup, the Strafe delivers one of the best gaming and keyboard experiences on the market. Sporting the unique Cherry MX silent switches in the 2016 trend of RGB lighting, the Corsair Strafe is sure to deliver. Something really shines about this keyboard, and I think it might be the RGB lighting. With millions of colors and options for the RGB lighting, this keyboard is destined to tickle your fancy unless you're tired of the 2016 trend and prefer none at all. In that case, you always have the option to disable the RGB goodness and reveal the sexy body of the keyboard itself. The wrist rest that accompanies the keyboard is made out of what seems to be a softer plastic with a bit of a rubbery texture to the design and feel of it. Although it's a plastic-like material, it's not uncomfortable at all. Its placement is a welcome mat for the placement of hands to rest while typing, and no fatigue is caused by this material composition. The most recognizable attribute of the Corsair Strafe is its phenomenal MX silent switches. These switches last over 50 million actuations, require about a 50-gram actuation force, and have the same recoil time as the average Cherry MX red switches. So what's the difference? They're silent. And no, I don't mean ninja quiet or even quiet enough to keep from waking a bear. Although they are still noticeable to hear down from the hall, and is usually bottoming out the keys that causes the most noise to be emitted. As a result of their 1.4mm travel distance, these keys demand some adaptation of keystrokes because of their delicate and feathery production, which isn't much of a flaw at all, if not a good thing. Another thing that is quite noticeable is the stainless steel springs in certain keys, such as the space bar, when stroked a particular way or very quickly, creates kind of a sound that is very audible. Despite these minor flaws, these keys are very inviting to the touch to the Corsair Strafe and beckon for your touch when typing, gaming, or browsing the web. The MX silent switches are a magnificent set of Cherry MX switches that are comfortable, smooth, and easy to fall in love with. Okay, as you see here, this is the software for the Corsair Strafe, and the first thing that you'll see here is the assignments tab, and this is for kind of self-explanatory, changing any key to whatever key that you need it to be. So if you need the G key to be the F5 key, you can most certainly do that here. And this is where you can change some of the Corsair Strafe's keys to be maybe macro keys. So let's say you're not using the number pad at all for maybe a MOBA, and you want to use this number pad for some other keys that may be more useful when playing this game. And you can definitely set this for a profile. So let's say you want to go back to browsing the web, you can definitely change profile back, so that won't be the same thing. So if you start using the number pad in the browser, it won't be the exact same keys that you had set it to for the MOBA profile. And so the next tab that we have here is going to be the lighting, and this is probably going to be the most ventured tab that you have for this software, because again, it's the lighting. Not a lot of people will probably touch the assignments. And as you can see here, I have the rainbow wave going here. It is on the slow setting and going to the right. So if any preset that you select, you can actually change all the properties about it. So again, for the rainbow wave, you can change the direction that it's going in. So you can change it to the left, you can change it from going up and down, and you can change it from going medium, slow, or fast, whatever fits your fancy. And see, you have the rainbow wave, the iconic spiral rainbow that you have probably seen throughout the advertisements for this keyboard, or any Corsair keyboard for that matter. You have the visor, or the rain for this, and the customizations for this again is going to be fast, slow, medium. You can change it between two alternating colors. So if I wanted it to just be red and blue, you're going to see that it's nothing but red and blue, and so you have that selection there. And again, you have the color shift where it's going to slowly change into something else, and you can change from what colors. Again, this is going to be the same thing. You can alternate between two colors that you like, or you can make it any color that you really like, random. Again, that you can change that from slow to fast. So you have a lot of functionality here. And that T that's still lit, I'm actually going to talk about that for a second, because if you decide to change, okay, you want that T to be purple, or if you want this T to be red, you can, that's not going to be overriding any preset. The presets are going to override any color that you make any letter. So don't think that when you set a key to be a certain color, it's going to kind of be sticking out. So now that it's red, it's not sticking out amongst the yellow preset that it is right now. So that is another very nice touch to the software. But the bad thing is that if you do have it on the color wave, yes, it's going to override it when the color goes over it, but otherwise that color's still going to be there and kind of stick out a little bit. So I mean, that does have its pros and cons. And then you have these famous type lighting, and this is for basically if you type on any keys, it'll show up as a color, any color that you like, as you see there. And again, you can change this to alternating colors. So if you'd only like your colors to be red or blue, you can definitely do that. And the duration here, as you can see, you can change this to showing up for a very long time or not. You can see you get a whole bunch of colors going on the board if you change the duration along. But basically, that is all the functionality that you see here. And changing the keys to any colors that you'd like, you have this array of colors that they preset for you right here, but you also get this color wheel. And this color wheel is going to give you access to every color under the rainbow, every color under your imagination that you can possibly think of. And again, there's no limit to how many colors you can make any amount of keys. You can change every single key on this keyboard to whatever color or every distinct color that you'd like. And there's two other buttons that I'd really like to point out here, and that's the Windows key. Now, while you cannot change this color, like I said, you cannot change this color whatsoever. It's always going to be this red color. And so what this is going to do is lock the keyboard, do a Windows lock. So when you press the Windows key, it's not going to do much of anything. But if you keep it unlocked, you press the Windows key and it's going to show up. And this is for basically when you're in a huge gaming session, maybe Counter-Strike, and you don't want to accidentally press that Windows key when you're pressing Control or Alt for crouching or something, and ruin your immersion into the game. And you also have this brightness key here. In this, you can also not change the color of. These two keys are the only things that you cannot change, but this is also a very useful key. So let's say that you started up your keyboard and it's on a very bright setting from last night and you want to change it back down. You can simply press this key about 3 times, and as you can see here, it's going to change the brightness from 33%, 66% to 100%, and if you press it one more time, it's going to change all of your colors to null. It's basically going to stop any coloration coming from your keyboard whatsoever. You can also change this within the software right here by using the arrow keys. So this has a lot of functionality to it. And so another thing that I'd like to also mention is the side brightness, and this side lighting, should I say, that is very noticeable on the side of the keyboard, and it kind of adds the ambience a little bit. You can actually change to whether you want that on or off, and again, sometimes it's a little bit of a nuisance depending your setup for it. Maybe it's if it's in the middle of the day and you want to conserve the energy, or maybe the bulbs within the keyboard for a little bit, you can turn those off. But during the nighttime, it is a very, very nice look for the keyboard. Being my first true mechanical keyboard, the Corsair Strafe is a pleasant introduction. The sounds it emanates are exquisite, the RGB lighting is a very beautiful complementary touch, and its keys are perfectly suited for the diligent fingers of any seasoned gamer or excessive typer. Its hard and sturdy composure is promising and trustworthy. All of this at a price of $119 at retailers like Best Buy. Link below if interested. While this is a hefty price for a keyboard, it is a well-deserved investment for gamers like me who needed an upgrade from an office keyboard that you can find on a typical desktop. It is also below the price of Corsair's other keyboards such as the K95 or K70, but still packs the same punch that will last years of gaming. So if you're in need of an upgrade from an old desktop keyboard, the Corsair Strafe is a comfortable investment that won't break the bank or leave you regretful about your decision. Thanks for watching. Jaeger Network here. See you in the next one.